Okay, so today we are going to remove the governor. Let's get the correct stuff. 10 millimeter. Yeah, it's a rainy day. About right here. So let's see. I'm gonna keep all this stuff together because I don't know. I've never taken one of these apart, so I don't know what's what. If their stuff's the same, if it's different. So we're gonna go through. And you can see this is the governor arm that controls it. So you can just disconnect these springs and stuff. The reason you take out the whole governor is as simple as oh, look, this guy's all soldered. You don't want, holy crap, look at the stuff in here. Yeah, it's good for taking it apart. You can at least clean it out. You don't want the gear that's on the inside to explode and destroy everything else, because the gear is usually only rated to a certain speed. So let's not roll this thing over. Which I can crunch this. If not, I'll cut it and I'll fix this later. Man, this is chunky. I'm just gonna cut this off. We'll fix that later. So, what I want to do, we're going to clean all this out. We can, when we take the carburetor out, we'll finish cleaning that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flywheel off. I'm going to look at everything. Today is not, we're not going to be reassembling this engine because I have to buy gaskets and seals and everything. So whatever I show you, like I said, this might be split up a little bit, is just the beginning part, because like I said, when I order gaskets and everything, then I'll worry about the rest of this. That'll do. So you can see some minor differences here in comparison to the Predator. The Predator has a slightly different setup here. But yeah, pretty much the same. So this is going to be a pain in the butt because oh, easy for once. Yeah, so you put that nut there. I'm sure I've gone over this before, just so you don't mushroom any of this. Keeps the threads nice and clean. This seal only looks like it's been leaking a little bit, but what we're going to do is if we can get it, we're going to replace it. And I'm guaranteed you can get this. This isn't going to be like a crazy build or anything. I'm just kind of, I want to get this thing back into, you know, stock shape with the governor removed. Just kind of gross. I mean, it's had lived a hard life. The person I got the go-kart from, this engine was on it. And it's just, it was beat up. Always ran good, but I really need to clean up in here. So anyway, oh boy, I'm making a mess. I was gonna say I thought I smelled gas, and this gas looks disgusting. So it definitely has some old gas in it. Now, what am I missing here? Oh, there's another bolt right here on this guy. So there's your cover. I'm going to put this bolt back in here so I don't lose it. I can pull this guy straight out. This guy unhooks. This is all your governor controls. So basically when we rebuild this guy, we have to attach this to this. So we'll probably use part of this to do that. But for right now, we're going to take what we can off. Just put none of that. I'm going to have to clean everything afterwards as well. Yeah. It's all kind of gross. I'm going to replace this gas line too. Look, there's your gasket that's was on here. So if we can order that guy, and that guy came out. So this is where I'm gonna take off. I gotta go grab a wrench. I'm gonna take off the gas can so I can. It's gonna be hard for you guys to see, I'm sure, but I gotta take off this guy, that guy. And then when I do that, I'm going to take the gas line off and I'm going to go bring this somewhere else so I don't die in the fumes. Hopefully we're going the right way, huh? Righty tighty, lefty loosey. If you took off the exhaust, this would be way easier. These ones. Alright, so I just pulled that loose. And I'm going to take this off. And as I'm loosening this, I'm just pushing the gas tank out. So I have plenty of room. And I did warm this engine up before. So this guy's free. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. I'm going to actually put my bolts back on here so I don't lose them. Alright, so here is the gas can and everything. I'm going to pull this off the carburetor. Does this work? Nope. I'll grab out of my pile of crap. And this guy is going to go outside. Okay, so this is the carburetor. This is your choke. This is your actual throttle. Not entirely sure what this is. Oh, look, you can see the gas in there. Make sure you don't lose this. This goes on here. This is what moves the choke. Okay, look at this. Let's see. Oops, not to get covered in gas. I wonder if this is just like a reserve or something. Normally you don't see this, so this is probably just so you can, maybe so you can let out some of the gas. Because this is the cutoff. That's off, that's on. Interesting. Of course, not the right size. Alright, so this is the carburetor that comes on this thing. Like I said, this one's in pretty good shape overall. Try not to lose everything. It's the little seal for the bowl. I'm not really going to be rebuilding this, I'm just going to clean it out. Only a little bit of water in there. Pretty clean. These aren't the best conditions to be cleaning this. So let's move you back. So you have a jet down there and a jet there. Everything on this looks clean, and like I said, it ran good, so what I'm going to do is just blow some of this crap out. Don't shoot yourself in the eye, and you can see the stuff coming out. If you're having issues, I would take these out completely, and I would clean them out good. Make sure you can see through them. If you're running lean or whatever, you can get different sized jets and everything for this. This is just me more or less showing you it. This should come out one way. This is your float bowl. This you should knock out, and then you can get the float bowl out. I'm not going to do that on this one because it looks really pretty good. Just gonna give it a wipe down. Everything seems to be all right. Yeah, I'm all out of cleaning solution anyway. So if I were having issues, there's also two little jets down there. I don't know if you'll be able to see them or not. So you'd have to put a screwdriver down there, and you got to be super careful because they're made of brass. You can strip them right out. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure the bowl was clean more or less. And there's your gasket. And what we're going to do, we're going to reuse this for now. If we have any issues, what we'll do is we'll come back in the future and we will replace this stuff. If the gasket kit for this is cheap, I might just buy it, but it's not really necessary. So this is the front. There's your choke. Should go. You want to be able to unscrew this so you can drain it out. So you want that in the front. But this isn't really while we're here today, so if I get a chance I will probably clean this up a little bit. And there's another adjustment. That looks like a jet, but not entirely sure. Like I said, if I had issues with this I would take it apart further, but it seems to work fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue on disassembling. I'm going to get all this crap out of here, because this will block your airflow and could cause your engine to overheat. This should be up here. So what I'm going to do before I put this all back together is I'm going to spray this whole thing down and clean it up as well. Let's get rid of all this dirty stuff. Get into the good stuff. Alright, so we still have to drain the oil out of this. Let's remove this if we can. This is what controls the governor. Likely when we remove this it's going to fall downwards anyway. So this will not be going back on this engine. This little clip has to come off. And then this piece is going to just drop down. So a lot of times you have to cut this off. So that way you can get the bar out. So let's EX17 0.169 liter. Alright, so let's very quickly drain the oil. The good thing about this oil compared to the Predator is there's no metal shavings in it. Alright, see a little more crap up here. We will probably need this oil pan again, so I'm just going to leave it there. Alright, so now let's get into the fun stuff. Boy, that's tight. Alright, we are going to use this guy. If you were just draining, wow, some of those are really corroded. If you were just draining the oil, you would do it from here or back here. This looks like it's gonna That'll be fun. There we go. Cool beans. Alright, so this is quite different on the inside than a Predator. Cool. Alright, so this is easy. So this is your governor wheel. You see as you spin it, it opens up. That's kind of how you control it. So, alright. I didn't realize that this was overhead cam. Interesting. Cool design. Alright, so this is definitely a surprise. So I'm not really going into any of this in this video. If we have issues, we will do that. But yeah, so this motor, man, clean. Clean, clean, clean. I'm very happy to see that. So the stuff we want to do to remove the governor on this motor, basically all we got to do is pull this guy. You can see how this pushes out. We're going to basically destroy this piece just to get it out. Let's see. Trusty leather bin again, I guess. You want to, it doesn't matter if you break it. I wouldn't think anybody would be trying to put this back on. There you go. So usually there's a little clip somewhere. I'm going for the destroying method. Yep, alright, so I pull it right out, and make sure you don't forget, usually this is a washer. This one might not be. Well, that's cast into it, it looks like. I'll give it a good old whack to make sure. Yeah, that looks like it's cast on that. So sometimes on these engines there's a washer behind it. This one, as far as I can tell, is cast together. I just gave it the good old whack to see. Usually there's some sort of clip too, but it looks like the metal clip is built into this. Garbage. So we don't need that anymore. So there's just lots of crap on this engine. So we'll clean all this up probably before the next video on this engine. But that's how you remove the governor. You literally just take that out. Now, the other thing that you have to do is, I'm going to put this guy here so I don't lose it. You don't have to do this, but I like to remove this, and I usually put a bolt in the way. So you need to take this clip off. There you go. There's the clip. Now on this one, unlike the Predators, it's going to be really easy to get out. You just push this down. Now, it's your choice how you want to do this. I usually run a tap down there. I find a bolt that'll fit. Watch, we're going to lose all this oil. Alright, so what I did here was not the recommended method. I ran a bolt down there because I couldn't find the right tap that would fit. I didn't have one. So what I did was, instead of drilling the whole thing out and making a huge mess in here, I ran a bolt down there back and forth a few times, hoping it would tap it for me. Because it's soft, you know, it's aluminum. And, you know, the bolt broke off. So, you know, don't do what I do, learn from my mistakes. I don't care. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. It plugged the hole. So, as you see, I just Honda bonded over it. It's just what I have here. And that stuff usually seals really well. But it was in there so good, it's when it broke, you know, all is well. No complaints. So this engine, and because you won't be able to see anything up there, but it's plugged really well. It's like just a little bit in. So I'm not concerned about it. It's going to do exactly what I want it to do. But not the way to do it, not the proper way. So this doesn't actually have a gasket either, which I think is interesting, because most of these have gaskets. You can even see I'm scratching up the aluminum. You got to be really careful with this stuff. I'm just trying to get the gasket off and it's scratching the aluminum, so do what you will. I'm not concerned. And when I reseal this, you know, you'll see that in the next video whenever I get the parts. You can use R2V, you can use Honda Bond, whatever. I just like the Honda Bond because it seems to seal a little better in my opinion, but the RTVs are perfect for this kind of job. It's not going to matter. It's just what I have handy. I probably have some gray silicone, like a gray RTV, that would work fine too.